Hi, my name is Solvi Turner. For this presentation, I examined Louisiana's AI guidance for K-12 schools through an AI literacy lens. I organized the presentation around three parts: the Louisiana guidance, the UNESCO framework lens, and what this means for local school implementation. My main question is whether Louisiana's guidance moves beyond responsible use and risk management to support deeper AI literacy for teachers and students. The main document I examined is Artificial Intelligence in Louisiana Schools, Guidance for K-12 Schools, created by Louisiana Department of Education. The guidance was designed to help Louisiana schools understand and use AI responsibly while addressing teaching and learning, privacy, ethics, academic integrity, professional learning, and student safety. The audience includes school leaders, teachers, staff, families, ed tech leaders, policymakers, and other education stakeholders. Since I work in a K-12 school in Louisiana, this is the guidance most directly connected to my professional context. I also used the UNESCO Teacher and Student AI Competency Frameworks and AI for K-12 to analyze whether the document supports deeper AI literacy, not just safe use. The Louisiana AI document presents AI integration as a continuous and system-wide process. The framework includes four major parts. First, purpose and research. This means AI use should begin with clear objectives, evidence-based practices, and alignment to educational goals. Policy and guidance. This means schools need clear expectations for ethical use, data privacy access, and implementation. Third, engage stakeholders. This is important because AI impacts more than just teachers. It affects administrators, students, families, policymakers, and community members. The guidance recognizes the need for communication, trust, and shared responsibility. Evaluation and monitoring means AI implementation should not be a one-time decision. Schools should track impact, evaluate tools, and make adjustments over time. This is an important strength. Louisiana is not simply reacting to AI. The state frames AI integration as a responsible, effective, and sustainable process. Louisiana presents AI as a tool that can support teaching and learning when it is used responsibly, ethically, and with human oversight. The guidance describes several ways AI can support schools. It can personalize learning, increase student engagement, support teacher efficiency, help with data-informed instruction, provide feedback and individualized support, support professional learning, and encourage innovation in classroom instruction. What stood out to me is that it acknowledges that AI is already part of the educational landscape and that schools need to learn how to use it responsibly. At the same time, the guidance is clear that AI should support educators, not replace them. Human oversight and professional judgment remain central. The Louisiana AI guidance gives schools a way to think about when AI may be appropriate and when it may not be. AI use is encouraged when it supports instruction, planning, feedback, personalization, student engagement, and professional learning. AI is allowed when there are clear expectations, teacher guidance, approved tools, citations when needed, and human review of AI-generated content. AI use becomes restricted when students are using it without teacher guidance, without clear policies, without privacy safeguards, or in ways that create a risk of academic dishonesty. AI use is prohibited or clearly discouraged when it replaces students' own work on assignments meant to assess independent knowledge and skills. It is also not appropriate when it replaces human instructional decisions, involves unsafe data sharing, or violates academic integrity or expectations. So overall, Louisiana allows AI use, but it does expect schools to define when and how AI is appropriate. The Louisiana guidance addresses many of the major issues named in the assignment. It addresses academic integrity by discussing plagiarism, cheating, citation, assignment design, and student responsibility. It addresses privacy and data protection by referencing student privacy laws, parent consent, data sharing agreements, and secure use of AI tools. It addresses transparency by encouraging schools to communicate with stakeholders about AI tools, risks, benefits, and safeguards. It addresses bias and ethical use by emphasizing fairness, accountability, and the need to avoid harmful or biased AI use. It addresses accountability by making it clear that AI should not become the sole instructional decision maker. Human oversight remains essential. It also addresses equity and accessibility by recognizing that AI may support students with disabilities, Section 504 needs, IDA protections, and English learners as long as privacy and access are protected. Finally, it addresses professional learning and support for leaders, teachers, staff, technology staff, students, families, and community partners. So the strongest areas of the Louisiana guidance are safety, ethics, privacy, transparency, academic integrity, and professional learning. For my AI literacy lens, I focused on 3 ideas from UNESCO. The first is human-centered AI. AI should support human judgment, not replace it. This matters to me because I have already seen examples where teachers rely too heavily on AI instead of using it as a support tool. This is exactly why human oversight and professional judgment have to stay central. The second idea is ethical and responsible use. UNESCO emphasizes privacy, fairness, transparency, bias awareness, and accountability. Louisiana aligns well here because the guidance addresses data protection, academic integrity, transparency, and responsible use. The third idea is progression toward deeper AI literacy. UNESCO gives a clearer pathway for growth. For teachers, that progression is acquire, deepen, and create. For students, it is understand, apply, and create. This helps me see that Louisiana supports responsible use, but it is less specific about how teachers and students grow into deeper AI understanding over time. So, does the policy help people understand, evaluate, and use AI responsibly? My answer is yes, but unevenly. Louisiana does help people understand AI at a basic level. It helps schools evaluate AI mostly through safety, privacy, and ethics. It is strongest in responsible use, especially around human oversight, academic integrity, monitoring, data protection, and professional learning. This is where I think the balance becomes clear. Louisiana does build some AI literacy by addressing AI basics, responsible use, digital literacy, human oversight, classroom support, and professional learning. But the most detailed parts of the guidance focus on compliance and risk control, academic integrity, plagiarism prevention, privacy laws, cybersecurity, software approval, parent consent, and monitoring students' use. So my answer is that it does both, but it leans more towards safe implementation than a full AI literacy pathway. So what does all of this mean? The Louisiana guidance is strong in several areas. It supports responsible use, privacy and safety, academic integrity, professional learning, and stakeholder communication. It gives schools a solid starting point. It also helps schools avoid 2 extremes, banning AI out of fear or adopting it without enough thought. But this assignment asks us to go beyond summary and think like leaders. So the next question is, what is strong, what is missing, and what should leaders do next? That leads to the leadership critique. For the leadership critique, I see Louisiana's guidance as a strong start with a clear next step. What is strong is that the guidance is balanced. It supports AI use with safeguards, addresses privacy and academic integrity, includes professional learning, and recognizes that AI integration is a leadership issue. What is underdeveloped is the deeper AI literacy piece. The guidance does not clearly define grade-level expectations, how students should learn how AI works, or how teachers and students might move toward creating with AI. So, does it reflect responsible AI innovation? Yes, partially. It supports responsible implementation, but responsible innovation should also prepare teachers and students to understand, evaluate, and use AI creatively and ethically. My recommendation is to build on Louisiana's current AI guidance by developing a K-12 AI literacy progression. This would not replace the current guidance. It would make it more actionable. For students, that means clearer grade band expectations and opportunities to understand, evaluate, and create with AI. This matters because creating with AI is not just a technical skill. Students need to understand that what they create can influence, mislead, help, harm, or impact other people. So AI creation has to be tied to ethics, responsibility, and human impact. For teachers, it means professional learning on how AI works, how to evaluate tools, and how to design assignments in an AI-rich classroom. For schools and families, it means clear communication, approved tool guidance, privacy expectations, and ongoing review. The leadership move is to build from responsible AI use toward deeper AI literacy. This analysis connects directly to my previous work with the COSIN framework and educational technology planning at my school. One of the major themes from that work was that technology leadership is not about tools. It is about creating the conditions that help students, teachers, and schools thrive. Strong systems, clear communication, effective instruction, and meaningful support. That same idea applies to AI. Louisiana provides the foundation, but local implementation is where responsible AI innovation becomes real. In my school context, this means using the state guidance as a starting point while developing clear local expectations, teacher support, family communication, approved tool guidance, student AI literacy lessons, and ongoing review. For me, AI should not sit off to the side as a separate technology issue. It should connect to curriculum, digital literacy, data privacy, teacher support, STEM, and school-wide communication. In conclusion, Louisiana's AI guidance is a strong first step. It gives schools direction around ethics, privacy, academic integrity, professional learning, responsible use, stakeholder engagement, and human oversight. However, AI literacy requires more than safe use. Teachers and students also need to understand how AI works, evaluate its impact, recognize bias and limitations, and use it creatively and ethically. My final takeaway is that Louisiana has provided the foundation. The next step is turning that guidance into local systems that build AI literacy, support teachers, protect students, and keep human judgment at the center of learning. Thank you for your time.